Hello, I'm Stephanie. Welcome to my home. Today we are going to be doing a floor practice. I like floor practices. It's not all that up and down. And so we're just going to be staying here on the floor and we're going to be working on grounding. And this is a good practice actually for building up energy. You would think it'd be our wind down practice because it's a floor practice, but that's not what this one is today. But it is a good practice just for finding some grounding, for bringing ourselves back to center, for focusing on where we are right here on the mat in this present moment. So let's begin. So today, because we will be spending some time on the floor and on our knees, I would like to recommend that you use like a folded up towel or a blanket under your knees or your bottom if those are sensitive areas for you, especially if you're practicing on a hard floor. So let's begin in child's pose. So to build your child's pose, let's come to a tabletop position. You can keep your thighs and your knees together and bring your belly over your thighs. Or you can bring your big toes to touch, bring your knees wide, and then bring your thighs your belly between your thighs. And you can bring your arms stretched out in front of you, which is what I like to do. Or you can bring your hands down by your side. Whatever you feel most comfortable in. So go ahead and find your child's pose. Bring your belly down, shoulders away from the ears, forehead to the mat. And deep inhale, and as you exhale, let it all go. These next precious moments are just about you being in this present moment, allowing yourself to find grounding, allowing yourself to recenter so that you can be the best you strive to be off the mat. Using your palms, push yourself back up into a tabletop position. Your hands are underneath your shoulders. Knees are underneath your hips. Inhale. As you inhale, drop your belly, roll your shoulders back, look forward. And as you exhale, draw your belly button up into your spine, rounding your spine, bringing your chin to your chest. This is cat. And for cow, inhale, drop your belly, shoulders away from the ears, gaze forward. And exhale, belly to your spine, rounding through that spine of yours. Inhale, drop your belly, looking forward. And exhale, bringing your belly button up into your spine. Take a few on your own at your own pace. Come into a neutral spine. Maybe bring your left hand in a little bit because we're going to balance on our left hand here. Find that steadiness. Bring your right arm up to the sky. Gaze following. And then bring it down and thread it through under your left arm. Inhale, reach up to the sky. And exhale, threading the needle. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, thread it through. Bring your hand back down to the mat. Find that steadiness in your right hand and your right arm as you bring your left arm up. Inhale, gazing up. Exhale, thread it through under your right arm. Gaze to follow. Inhale, reaching your left arm up. And exhale, thread it through. Inhale, reaching your arm up. And exhale, thread it through. And bring your left hand back down. Finding that neutral spine again, maybe sway your hips a little bit. Now we're going to bring your right leg up off the floor, back behind you, foot flexed, pinky toe facing the ground, making sure your hips are square. Find a spot on the floor underneath you as your balancing focal point. And when and if you're ready, bring your left arm up, straight up, and your hand is in front of you, long in front of you. Finding that steadiness in your limbs, finding that balance. I love balancing poses because they force us to be present with ourselves. If you're shaky, just smile to yourself. Allow your limbs to go back down to the floor, back into tabletop. Very good. Go ahead and bring your left leg up into the air and long behind you. Foot is flexed, pinky to the floor. Make sure your hips are still squared. Find that focal point again for balance. And when and if you're ready, bring your right arm up, long in front of you. Focusing on that focal point. Smiling to yourself when we're a little wobbly. Deep inhale here as you exhale. Bring your limbs back to the floor. Maybe gently sway your hips back and forth. Bring your right leg out and up behind you. Foot is flexed still, just like we just did. You can inhale here. And as you exhale, bring your knee to touch your elbow, if you can. If you can't touch it, that's fine. Just bring it to your elbow. Then inhale, bring your leg out, back, long behind you again. And as you exhale, bring your knee to your opposite elbow. Squeeze. You're going to be rounding through your spine. That's okay. And bring your leg back. And now, rounding through your spine. Big inhale here. And as you exhale, round through your spine again. And bring your knee to your nose. Bring your leg back and up behind you one more time. And bring it back to the floor. Good. Sway those hips a little bit. And we're going to do that to the other side. Go ahead and bring your left leg up and long behind you. Make sure your pinky toe is facing the floor. Inhale here, nice and long. And as you exhale, bring your knee to your elbow. And inhale, bring your leg long behind you again. Exhale, bring your knee to your opposite elbow. You got this. And then bring your leg long behind you. Deep inhale, and as you exhale, bring your knee to your nose, rounding in your spine. Hold it. You got it. Now bring your leg long behind you. And now bring your knee to the floor. Good job. That can be tough sometimes. Very good. Let's sway our hips just a little bit. Okay. So coming back to sit, bending our knees generously, sitting back on our heels. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can sit in Indian style, whatever way sitting is comfortable for you on the floor, maybe with a blanket. Okay, this is Hero's Pose. It's a good place to find meditation if you're comfortable here. Keeping our palms on our thighs for grounding and just breathing here. Today we're going to bring our arms out, straight out to either side. And we're going to get some fresh blood pumping straight into our hearts. So go ahead and begin to make gentle arm circles. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Stop. Now go the opposite way. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Bring your arms down. It's a simple but very effective way to get blood pumping here. Fresh blood. All right. Go ahead and find your bottom to the floor. Bring your bottom to the floor. Legs are going to go out long in front of you. You can bring a blanket here. It actually helps to have like a pillow or a blanket. This is staff pose right here. And I have never, ever been able to touch my toes. But when you have a pillow or a blanket or something to give you a little bit more height in your spine and in your base, you can actually go a little bit deeper into your staff poses. So I do recommend that if you're trying to touch your toes. I'm going to bend my knees a little bit here. Nice tall spine. Let's make sure there's no meat underneath our sit bones and we're sitting nice and flat on the floor. When you're nice and tall, go ahead and take a deep breath in. Reach your hands up, keeping your straight spine that you have. Go ahead and reach forward. Very good. Using your hands, go ahead and walk your way up your legs and up your thighs, back into a nice straight spine. Inhale, reach up. And we're going to pick apples off the apple tree. So we're going to reach up like you're picking apples, and they're just a little bit within reach. Just a little, so you have to make a really good effort. Oh, maybe you have to twist just right to get this apple. Just gently, don't twist too hard. Yeah, and then maybe reaching over to the left, reaching over to the right. Go ahead and pick your apples. And just put them in their basket. Let's take our basket, put it to the side. Good job. And now I'm going to remove my blanket. You don't have to, but I needed to do that. And we're going to do Marichi's pose. So bring your right leg, your left leg stays long, your right leg bends. You can bring it to kind of like building tree pose. You can bring your foot to your ankle, your shin, all the way up to your thigh, wherever you're comfortable. Make sure your spine is nice and tall and straight. Inhale, reaching up. And as you exhale, gently twist to the right. You can bring your right hand down behind you on the floor. Keep yourself up. And then your left elbow to your knee. Or you can hug your knee. And just gently twist here. We're not exerting this twist. We don't want to hurt ourselves or kink our backs at all. Just allowing your body to do what comes naturally. Good. Deep inhale. And as you exhale, untwist, find your center, and bring your right leg long behind you. Bring your left leg up, finding that comfort spot, bending as much as you want or need to. Inhale, reach your arms up. And as you exhale, gently twisting to the left. Left hand long behind you on the floor. And then your right arm is pushing against your knee. Don't let your knee cave in. Make sure your knee is straight up. It helps to push your elbow and your knee together. And again, just gently twisting here, what comes natural to your body. And inhale, coming back to center. And bring my towel back underneath my bottom. Okay, and now we are going to come into a butterfly pose. So, bring your feet and bring your feet the palms of your feet together. And then just draw your feet in as much as you can. There's no reason here to try to get as close to your middle as possible here. Okay? So if it's out here, that's perfectly perfect. So this is our butterfly pose. From here, take your fists and put them underneath your knees or just above your knees at your thigh. You're going to use your knees to push into your fists. And you're going to feel your muscles tense right here in your hip flexors. We are strengthening our inner thighs and our inner hips that are very weak from sitting all the time. And we're just waking them back up, telling them we need them. Okay? So go ahead and put your fists under your knees. And if you're not feeling those muscles working, you're probably using your fists too much. Your fists are just here for support. So go ahead and pushing your knees into your fists, just very gently, not as hard as you can. I'd say give it about 25% of a push. And I'm going to count 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Bring your fists back and push 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. And push 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and rest. Very good. You can undo your butterfly and go ahead and bring your sit bones, take that meat away from your sit bones, bring your bottom flat on the floor again. Nice tall spine, feet are on the floor, knees are bent. Begin to just gently, using your thighs as support with your hands, begin to just gently bring your tall spine back just a little bit. If you're comfortable, let go of your thighs. Let your hands go long in front of you. If you want to take it even further, you can bring one foot off the floor, or you can take 2 feet off the floor. This is boat pose. Every single step of this was boat pose. Wherever you are, that's fine. I am very shaky in my boat pose, and that's okay. If you brought your feet up, you can go ahead and bring your feet back down to the floor. Go ahead and bring your hands back to your thigh. We're gently going to bring ourselves, using our core. So really engage your core to steady yourself. Bring yourself back down to the mat. Good. Bring your heels to about the base of your bottom. Your hands are flat on the floor. Squeezing your bottom. Deep breath in. Bring your hips up to the sky. Draw your hips up. Squeezing your bottom really good. Tuck your shoulder blades in underneath you. Do not look from side to side. Keep your gaze up. Check in with your knees. Are they falling out? Are they caving in? You can always put a yoga block between your knees to make sure they stay hip width distance apart and steady. Or you can imagine right now that you're squeezing a block between your legs. And exhale, release your hips back down to the floor. We're going to do that one more time. I'm going to bring it in a little deeper. You're more than welcome to take it the way we just did, which is the most gentle way to take our bridge pose. This next bridge, we're going to extend it a little bit. So same thing. On your next inhale, squeeze your bottom, draw your hips up, tuck your shoulders underneath you. And when you're ready to take it a little deeper, go ahead and bring your hands underneath you, clasping your fingers, tucking your shoulder blades in a little deeper, really squeezing your bottom. Making sure your knees are staying hip width distance apart and straight. If you want to go even deeper, you can go up on your toes, and keeping your gaze forward is absolutely essential to not hurting your neck. And exhale, undo your fingers, and gently bringing yourself down to the floor. Very good. Bringing your knees into your chest. Go ahead and wrap your arms around your legs and give yourself a big hug. Smiling to yourself. Thank yourself for giving you these precious moments to just be present, to just work on yourself. We give so much of ourselves to others and to other things throughout the day. It's so important to come back to our center, to reground ourselves, show grace and love. It's a little self-care. When you're ready, you can bring your legs long in front of you to the floor. Your feet can be spread wide. If final resting pose ever bothers your lower back, or you already know you have lower back problems, you can bend your knees. Bring your feet about as wide as your mat, then bring your knees into touch. Palms facing the sky. Take a deep inhale here. And as you exhale, relax your face, relax your jaw. Let go of your tongue, just let it hang. Relax your brow. Inhale nice and deep, listening to the sound of ocean waves as you breathe in. If you're not sure how to get that sound, you breathe in through your nose into the back of your throat, and it sounds just like the ocean. On your next exhale, relax your neck and your shoulders. Focusing on your breath, and with every exhale, just let go. Just let it go. All you have is this moment. Just allow yourself stillness and peace. Just focusing on the sound of your breath, the feeling of your chest and your belly rising with every inhale and falling with every exhale. If you feel your thoughts are straying away, or maybe you're having unwelcome thoughts, bring it back to your breath. Don't acknowledge the thoughts. Just bring it back to your breath as much as you need to. Maybe it's 100 times in the next few moments. It's okay. You're trying. That's awesome. I'll hold these next few precious moments for you to just let go and be still. I'll bring you back when it's time. Begin to bring awareness back to your breath. Wiggle your toes. Maybe gently roll your ankles back and forth. Wiggle your fingers. Gently rolling your wrists back and forth. You bring your knees up. You can sway your knees back and forth, gently windshield wipering your knees. Allow your eyes to flutter open. And bring your arms long behind you, really stretching. And when you're ready, roll over to one side and use your hands to push yourself up. And come to an easy pose, which is a nice, comfortable seated position on your mat. Once you've found your seated position, when inhale, reaching your arms up. And exhale, bring your right arm to the floor. Reach over. Inhale, back to center. And as you exhale, bring your left hand to the floor, reaching your right arm up and over. Inhale back to center, palms touching, and slowly bringing your palms down to your heart center. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. I am very honored, abundantly honored, to share my practice with you. The light in me sees and honors the light in you, and the world needs your light. So go shine on. Namaste. Thank you, friends.